Hey everybody, Always Dizzy here. I've been thinking about making this video for a while and I thought might as well get it done. And as the title of the video should say, it's all about why I'm happy or at least content about improving slowly. So, this isn't clickbait, but it's just something that I really believe in. And I guess it kind of boils down to the fact that I often see a lot of, especially newer players, they often they'll create a thread on, like the chess subreddit, for example, asking something along the lines of, do you think I'll become an NM or an FM or whatever is it possible to become an NM in 5 years? Or do you think I can get to 2200 or 2300 over the board in 3 years and so on? And this video isn't about answering that question, but rather why I think that, that isn't necessarily a good thing. Now, obviously, everybody wants to improve, right? That's what my whole YouTube channel and Twitch stream is about. It's really about my journey as an adult improver, trying to increase my rating and improve at chess. So obviously, everybody wants to improve, and I'm not saying that isn't a lofty goal. But I think there is an incredible downside to improving quickly at chess. And basically, if you improve very quickly, you're going to plateau and basically hit your ceiling early on. And then where do you go from there? What's the enjoyment? And so I think this happens to a lot of kids. Like a lot of kids, they will grow up with chess and attend a lot of tournaments and have private coaches and improve really quickly. And you'll see a lot of juniors over the board. They will quickly get to 2000 or even like a national master level, but then you don't see from them again. Like a good, I don't know what percentage, but a lot of them, you will see they have this meteoric climb and then you never see them again. And the main reason I believe is because they got so good so quickly, they get to the level where it gets really, really difficult to improve. And then they don't see that rapid improvement anymore and they say it's too hard and then they quit. And I think that's a real issue. I mean, for example, if imagine you are rated 1100 right now, right? 1100 over the board rating. And, a genie comes up and says, okay, ta-da, you are rated 2400 FIDE now. And maybe you'll be like, oh, at first you'll be like, yeah, wow, that's awesome. But it's like, well, I mean, even if you have the skills to go with it, the genie gave you the skills and everything to be 2400. You're probably not going to improve beyond that, right? Like, if anything, everything is downhill from there. Like, your rating might actually slowly trickle down. And so it's like maybe you just enjoy playing at that level, but even to remain at that level, you're going to have to do an incredible amount of study and opening theory and not, so I think there's a lot to be said for having very slow but gradual, or even if it's not gradual, but very, very slow progress, because that way you get to enjoy the journey of improving. You get to learn a little bit constantly, and you get to improve constantly. And that's always been my personal mantra, if you will, when it comes to chess. I've always celebrated a new personal best online, even if it's by a single point, because that is kind of proof that I am improving, and that's all I care about. I think I should also mention, I think it's also important not to compare yourself to others. I don't, that maybe that's another video, but everybody is under different circumstances. Like, kids can often improve quickly. Yeah, you could argue because their brain is like more elastic and all that, brain plasticity and neurons, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's more to do with the fact that they have no responsibilities, right? They go to school and then they just go to the room and they can just play chess like 6 hours a day. They don't have to worry about a job, cooking dinner, cleaning, paying bills, all of that stuff. They don't have to worry about that. They can just play chess. I'm getting a little bit off topic here, but my point is that you should really only care about your own progress. And as long as you're progressing, I don't think it matters how slow it takes. If it takes you 10 years to gain 300 points, well, at least you're improving during that time, right? It's progress. So I think it's like, I actually feel sorry for some of the chess players that have this rapid climb, because they hit that and even if they're still climbing, like maybe they don't peak, and they don't dwindle, maybe they climb really quick and then they still climb, but it's really slow. But it's going to be so slow, it's going to be like the longest plateau ever. So as an example, I guess I will pop this open. So this is just my Lichess stats. And I guess we'll look at rapid for now. This is from all time. I started playing around summer of 2018, it looks like. And I was 1400 at the very, very start. And then quickly, I actually had an incredible first year climbing. I mean, I put a lot of time into it at that time, but yeah, I forget exactly how. I don't want to make this video too crazy long, but it was June, right? So June 2018 to June 2019. Is that right over here? Yeah, so I mean, like I went from like 1500 or so or to 1800, which was an incredible climb in the first year. And then I went, and then from there I had another. My second year was good too. And then it slowed down a bit, but it was still gradual, right? Like you can see this graph. I didn't play as many rapid games during this period, but you can see overall it's a pretty gradual rate of improvement, and slow too. Apart from the first year, it's a pretty slow. Let's see, is this screen better? No. It's pretty slow, right? So this is about what, 4 years. So 4 years I went from 1500 to 2200, which is still, I mean, I'm happy with it, and I'm still improving. So if I look at it from the past year, I was 2168 last year, and I dropped a little bit here, but I hit a peak of 2237 about a month ago. So I improved, not quite 100 points, but it gets harder to improve the higher you go, but I'm still improving. So still an improvement over the last year, but it's a lot slower. But I don't care, because improvement is improvement. And then classical, kind of a very similar. Whoops, sorry, that's the same one. Classical. The classical graph looks quite different. For some reason, I had this like steady climb in the beginning, and then some peaks and valleys. It was a kind of. Oh, I remember why. So this one looks different because Lichess changed their classical default time from 15 plus 15 to 30 plus 0. I think right around here, April 24th, pretty much. And that kind of changed the pool. And so that's why it was harder at that point. But over time, I set a new personal best just about a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago, I set another personal best. So I'm still improving, but it's very slow, but it is progress. And then Blitz very slow progress here too. I mean, slower than I would like, but progress nonetheless. And so I don't know, maybe you can let me know your thoughts in the comments, but I really believe in this. Again, it's just, I just think like if you climb from, you know, if you climb, if it in 2 years, if you climb to like 2,000 over the board, you're missing out on you're missing out on a lot of smaller wins, right? Because within like 2 or 3 tournaments, you might gain 200 or 300 points if you're climbing really quickly, and you miss out on just having a lot of good tournaments or just a lot of gradual progress and constantly learning and tweaking your game. But I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks this. Maybe everyone just wants to improve as fast as possible. But I do think, again, repeating myself, but I do think if for some reason you woke up and you gained like 800 points, I think a lot of people would just quit because suddenly they're just going to plateau, and where do you go from there? It's like you've already hit your peak so early on. Okay, I've always just had this idea. Again, I'd like to know your thoughts about this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.